perceptions that are unnamed, that are often not addressed, if allowed to fester, can sometimes further divide us. And my hope is to bring us together. And so I want to understand that there are perceptions that my colleague, Councilmember Glover, has intentionally attempted to smear my character by suggesting I arbitrarily disallowed for this agenda item. Excuse me. This is the opportunity for me to address you all, and we'll have an opportunity to hear from you as well. I arbitrarily disallowed for his agenda item to be added to tonight's discussion. As to my own actions, I don't believe that either this perception to be true. Councilmember Glover worked toward an agreeable path to providing an opportunity tonight with myself and staff that will allow him to bring his ideas forward. And I'm open to hearing about those ideas. We have created space to hear them with our existing item. And we have a process to ensure that our meetings are well planned and structured. I received an item request to agendize that on the morning of our agenda review process, and that did not allow me the adequate amount of time to add them to the agenda. And that's the reality of governance when we have so many complex issues to address and 7 council members who have varying issues and items they'd like to put forward. There's no lack of understanding the urgency of human suffering, and there's no lack of understanding the importance of the public process. We are all here because of those values, and we all share them in an attempt to make a difference. I also understand that there are perceptions that my colleagues, both Councilmember Glover and Councilmember Krohn, are intentionally bullying me because I am a woman. That if not for my gender, if I were a man, there would not be this question of my integrity. There would not be this question of my character. And I say this perception out loud, not to validate its truth, but rather to stand alongside my fellow council members, staff, and community members who may feel pushed around or bullied. I say this perception out loud to name it, to set it aside, and continue to speak my mind. Continue to do my job and to work on these tough issues. Continue to do the job of mayor, which I am honored to be in, and to take it very seriously. I hope that we as colleagues can do the same and work together with each other as we begin our conversation tonight. And with all this in mind, I would now like to turn it over to our staff for our presentation. Go ahead.
We're not done with oral communications yet. Oral communications generally matters presented as oral.
You were not recognized, and I appreciate your respect.
I'm addressing you. I have a point of order. Do you want to look up to City Attorney what point of order actually means? I don't believe you have to be recognized in point of order. And while he's looking, I am profoundly saddened, and I apologize if there was ever anything that I did that because I don't know, David was the mayor before, and I did lots of points of order and many.
We'll go ahead and pause your comments if we could for a moment and allow our city attorney to respond to the question before you.
Any council member, with the exception of the presiding officer, may call for a point of order to bring to the attention of the council a violation of the rules, an omission, a mistake, an error in procedure, and to secure a ruling from the presiding officer on the question raised. Point of order should be raised immediately after the violation, omission, mistake, or error in procedure has been committed. Council member who wishes to call for a point of order may interrupt the council member who has the floor at the time, and shall not explain the basis for his or her point of order until subsequently recognized by the chair or by the presiding officer. The presiding officer, in his or her discretion, may allow the council member who was interrupted to conclude his or her remarks before ruling on the point of order. The point of order is not debatable, however, the presiding officer may consult the city attorney or city manager before ruling on the point of order.
So confirming with you, city attorney, you mentioned the point of order violation has to occur and the calling has to be immediate. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. So is the point of order violation something that immediately took place, or is that something that had passed?
I was actually trying not to interrupt, waiting for you to finish. Generally, matters presented at oral communication will require, this is on page 21 of our council handbook, will require further investigation or information shall be referred to staff. And if the council determines that action is required, the item may be placed on a future agenda. I have two issues that folks brought up during oral communication I would appreciate the staff looking into. One is the, by David and the SEIU team, SEIU bargaining team. There was 2 workers. They said that their wages are lower than the city living wage. I'm just wondering if the city manager or Lisa Murphy, our HR person, can get back to the council if that's in fact true. The other question I had is the city really unwilling to place sharps containers around Santa Cruz? That's another, if you can get back to us. So I know that you can't respond, nobody can respond, but I would like, it'd be nice to have a report back.
Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to our staff presentation. At this time, we'll hear a presentation from staff. Then we will open it up to the council for questions.